Welcome back. I'm Sarah Duran. We're tracking the latest as Beryl continues to inch closer to Texas. People across the state are bracing for impact. This is video out of Corpus Christi. People boarding up homes and businesses Saturday and stocking up on those much needed supplies. And right now, evacuation orders are in effect for Refugio County. The same goes for visitors in Port Aransas who are being told to leave the island by noon today. We have live team coverage this morning with 3 of our KENS 5 weather team tracking Beryl. Paul Morales is in Port Lavaca, Jeremy Baker is set up in Rockport, and Maggie Laughlin is staying on top of this storm in the KENS 5 Weather Center. Let's get over to Maggie first for the latest on when and where Beryl will make landfall on the Texas coast. Maggie?
Absolutely, Sarah. So at
the Holiday Inn. Quite a sight to see. Reporting live from Rockport, Jeremy Baker, KENS 5.
Well, all right. Thank you, Jeremy. Beryl has left some San Antonians who were on vacation stranded abroad. Resorts and cruises have been accommodating for those stranded in the Caribbean right now, but travel agents recommend checking cancellation policies and travel insurance. Some will offer cancel for any reason refunds, but most will give you a credit. Some will even cover lost baggage or medical if you get sick or injured.
People that are traveling, you're spending, thousands of dollars. Protect your investment for sure. It's definitely well worth it.
If you are traveling to affected areas, Reyes says plan ahead and be patient. She also recommends to check the news and local emergency management alerts and social media accounts where you're traveling to. And we'll have continuing coverage of Beryl through the weekend, so be sure to tune in. You can also follow updates online right now at KENS5.com and the KENS 5 mobile app. Well, coming up, 2 men shot on the south side as police respond to a complaint about loud music. The latest on the investigation. And stranded tourists finally heading home from Cancun after Tropical Storm Beryl caused flight cancellations. Developing now, officers respond to a complaint for loud music and find 2 men shot. It happened around 1:30 Saturday morning on Bernard Drive on the south side. When police arrived, they heard gunshots coming from a large group of people. The officers discovered 2 19-year-old men with gunshot wounds. Both victims were taken to the hospital in critical condition. So far, no word on any arrests or what led up to that shooting. In the Middle East, Egyptian officials say Hamas has given its initial approval of a U.S.-backed ceasefire proposal that calls for a phased end to the war with Israel. The militant group backing off its demand that Israel commit to a complete end of the war before any hostages are released. The apparent compromise could result in the first pause in fighting since November. But all sides caution the deal is still not guaranteed. Now to the race to the White House. President Biden has a difficult few days ahead as he fights growing concerns about his mental fitness. Today, House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries will hold a virtual meeting with House Democratic leaders to talk about the president's candidacy. It will come as Biden's campaign in the battleground state of Pennsylvania. Meantime, Donald Trump is preparing for a rally in a suburb outside of Miami set for Tuesday. And this morning, we are continuing to track Beryl as it moves closer to Texas. Over in Mexico, hundreds of stranded tourists in Cancun flocked to the city's international airport to head home amid the storm. Travelers crowded the check-in counters to get flights after more than 300 were canceled. Tourists were forced to wait in very long lines as the airport started operating again. This after Beryl passed over Mexico's top beach destinations Friday, bringing strong winds and that heavy rain. Some travelers say, though, they were kept safe during their stays.
I don't know. We had a great time. Friday was obviously scary. Thursday night, scary. But the hotel did an amazing job of preparing the hotel and the guests for whatever was to come, and kept us fed and kept us safe.
That's really good to hear. Thankfully, Mexico reported 0 casualties from the storm and no major damage. And animals were also rescued in that area Friday. You can see dozens of dogs being housed in this Cancun shelter with barely enough room for them all. And Maggie, I know as a dog mom, this is probably a really tough video for you to see.
Oh my goodness. Oh, it's so sad, and they're probably so confused.
Yeah,
like, what is going on? That's a lot of them. Well, and they also don't look to be playing. They're not happy right now. That
No,
makes me
but
so
at least they
sad.
have shelter.
Yes, at least they have shelter, so we've got to be thankful for that. We also have to be thankful for even just a little bit of rain, because I know you and I were thinking we're going to get way more than that, right? But it's pushing further east, so we got to get straight to it. Let's talk about it right now, you guys.